What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan, this is Neomustangs, and this is my Fox Body Mustang channel. Today I'm gonna take you on a trip. We're gonna hit the road. We're gonna go do some wheeling and dealing. Much like I used to do back in the day. It's like a lost art. But if you enjoy my channel, you enjoy the content we're putting out with Fox Body Mustangs, make sure you hit that like and subscribe below and comment on some wheeling and dealing that you might have done recently. Let's get into it. Let's get on the road. All right, so we are en route to Akron, Ohio, where I'm gonna meet up with a couple customers from the past, and I'm gonna buy a couple parts of wheeling, dealing, trading. I'm making this video because I think wheeling and dealing and trading was a lost art. It's something that we used to do back in the 90s, and you know, you used to call a guy up, hey, what you got to trade, what you got to buy, sell. I mean, it's just a lost art. Kind of spoiled with the whole social media marketplaces on all these different platforms. I mean, you could literally just sit behind a computer or even your smartphone at this point and just do business. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I do that. Times have definitely changed, and it's kind of nice and refreshing. And I'm gonna drive an hour, hour and a half out. I'm gonna meet this guy, and we actually ended up doing a really cool like trade, if that makes sense. If you look back here, I got a nice original car light windshield. For what I actually have invested in the windshield, it'll actually be in my favor, because I'm going to bring the A9P home, crack it open, maybe change the capacitors, which is cheap to do, and then I'm going to put it in the car and make sure it runs. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the 1988-89 mass air harness, and we'll either put that in Dad's car or we'll just end up selling it. But the really cool thing about going is I'm actually getting a chance to do some wheeling and dealing. Because I normally don't just drive and talk about what I'm doing and where I'm going and stuff like that, but we're gonna actually do a little bit of filming, I think, when we get there. The really cool thing about this whole deal was not only am I trading the windshield that he needs for parts that I need and then some, but I'm also gonna make a little bit of money on it because his buddy that he does work with at the shop actually has a need of an axle housing. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's like a lost art. We're wheeling and dealing. I'm gonna trade a glass for a computer and some harnesses, and I'm gonna end up making a little bit of money on the axle housing that the guy needs, because his axle housing is broken and bent. This is the way it used to be back in the day. It was just wheeling and dealing, trading, buying and selling. It's different nowadays with the social medias and all the marketplaces. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can safely say that like Craigslist was my go-to for the longest time. But there's a lot of marketplaces out there. It's just, there's so much out there that you could just sit on your phone all day, deals upon deals everywhere. And I guess I'll probably share with you one of the best stories that I've ever had. I was looking on Craigslist. I found a dude in Pittsburgh, which is about 2.5 hours from me, 2 hours, who was selling a 1988 Ford Mustang that had been wrecked. Let's go check it out. So it was snowing and it was terrible outside, and hooked the trailer up, got in the truck, and I was on my way. The guy had the car up for about $2 grand, and on top of the motor I noticed it said, you know, it had a GT40 tubular intake. And at the time, the tubular intake was something that I really wanted for my white car when it was like still naturally aspirated. This car was hit really hard in the front, so much that it dented the roof. The car was absolutely rust free. Dark shadow blue, metallic, 88 color, gray interior, smoke gray, had racing seats in it. You know, it's got the tubular intake on the top. It's got big 1 3/4 inch long tube headers, and I'm like, damn, this got aluminum heads on it. I don't think this guy knows. This guy lived on a hill. Me and cousin Fred were together, 17-inch Cobra R wheels, which we still have to this day. We ended up getting a car home, but before we left, the guy's like, you know, I handed a guy $2 grand, and he looked over to his right and he said, you can have that car too. It was just a full parts car, 87 parts car GT. Didn't have the trans, but it had a motor in it. So I'm like, 2 for 1. That's even better, right? I get the 88 home, and I feel bad actually parting it out, but guess what? Most of those parts went to Dad's blue car when it was naturally aspirated. We started breaking this car down, and come to find out when we got the engine out, put it up on the stand, it had high port trick flow heads, big cam, trick flow stage 3 cam in it, and it was like a practically brand new 347 stroker. Came with a twin disc McLeod clutch, had a Z-Spec trans in it, aluminum drive shaft, 410 rear axles with 31 splines, tubular intake, long tube headers with the H-pipe, 3-inch pipe. I'm like, for $2,000. And I'm like, there's just, these deals are just, they're out there, but they're super rare. Again, this was like 15 years ago. That was probably one of my best picks wheeling and dealing. The sad part about it is I parted out an 88 car that had an amazing body on it. It just was hit so hard, it was bent everywhere. You know, the guy's head hit the windshield. There was beer cans all over the car. There was a nitrous set up on it. They had a nitrous bottle in the back. Super dangerous. That was probably one of my best picks, man. All right, so we finally arrived here at Kevin and Mike's shop, right, Kevin?
Yeah, no, Kevin's the other guy. And I'm Mike.
Mike's the guy I talked to.
I'm the guy with messed up hair painting all day.
So what we're doing here is we're actually going to, it's old school wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
And that's like a lost art.
You know what? Back in our day, we could go on a handshake.
That's right.
Today, if you sell somebody something at your shop, they're usually scoping your shop out.
Right. I mean, even look at all these parts. I mean, this is stuff that, you know, you can probably, there's something that's been, you know, wheeled and dealed. I mean, that guy traded this, traded that. This sort of stuff this is your stuff? This is all your stuff?
No, that's my father-in-law's.
Okay.
He has some antiques, as you can see.
We're going to go over and check out some antiques, because, I mean, this is what you do on a wheeling and dealing parts. All I'm seeing right off the bat, I'm seeing this old, what is that, a Model T?
No, it's actually a school bus.
That's an old school bus?
Yeah.
I mean, finding parts for that could be...
No. They get these things in such terrible shape.
Right.
They got a guy that that's all he does is redo these.
Rebuild. I mean, much like I do with my Mustangs.
Yeah.
That's all I do is I have parts for all these Mustangs. And
yeah, like this tractor.
Look at how nice that is.
Junk. They have so much, but they have some that is literally as old as the type where you light the lamps. They run. They literally run.
And this isn't much different than what I do with Fox bodies.
No, this is just a passion of my father-in-law's, just like Fox bodies are our passion.
So yes. This is what he got the windshield for. I brought him up.
Yeah.
Nice, pretty little GT.
Yeah.
What year is this?
This is an 88. The reason I got everything taped off is because I just sprayed the dash.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you can see the unique paint job.
That's beautiful. That looks really good in the picture, in the video too.
Yeah, and
wow,
all the stripes are painted.
Wow. What was that? I see a bunch of glitter in it.
Oh, it's got a ton of flake in it.
A lot of work. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's been a project. This came out of a junkyard.
Nice. So you saved this out of a junkyard.
Yeah. It sat out back for a couple years, and actually this is a passion project. And I just wanted to do something special for her, and it'll be done. They have a show every year. Last weekend of April, and we'll be debuting it, and my 8-year-old will be the first one to start it and drive it.
Oh, so you painted this dash to match the car?
Oh yeah. For you 5.0 fuel injected guys.
Well, here comes the old school.
Yep. These shoot flames.
Really?
Yeah.
Got the little spark plug for it?
Yep. I built a propane system.
Oh, wow.
In here. I think I'm going to fit a piece of flexible mirror. Kind of,
pop it.
Yeah, pop it.
So all these tractors were all junk, and he just restored it.
Yeah.
Many years.
Yeah. On Wednesday nights, which is tonight, for years they've had what they call Wednesday nights, work night, from 16, 17 years old, all the way up to 80. They come out, now the 88-year-old Bud, he just comes for beer.
There's always that guy.
But every Wednesday night, guys will come that maybe ran this in World War II or Vietnam.
Like the equipment out there.
Yeah, there's some that's...
It's the same thing that we were just talking about just a minute ago with doing wheeling and dealing, how I brought you that glass, now you're gonna give me some Fox parts for this or that and the other. And it's just, they're just there for the camaraderie.
Oh yeah.
It's a long lost art. That's where you never know who you're gonna meet, because that's how you make connections. I do apologize, the file from the video started to corrupt, so I'm gonna end this video and I'll show you what I got. So as mentioned, we ended up scoring an A9P computer, which we've already went through and checked the capacitors, and actually the computer works really good. So that's a good score. Got an injector harness and I got a mass air harness. Now you remember I traded that stuff for a windshield. It's really kind of a nice deal to go out there and just kind of get a connection and meet some new people that's in the Fox body community. Ended up actually making it like $100 because they needed an axle housing too, because their axle housing tubes was already bent. If you guys enjoy my content, enjoy my Fox body channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And I do appreciate everybody for watching this far, because watch time analytic is very important as well. Stay tuned if you got videos of the update of what we're doing here. As you see, I'm working on the black car. There will be a second part to this video, as there is a whole nother half of this video that I didn't show in here. If my channel's helped you at some point and you enjoy my content and you want to get back, hit that join button below. Go check that out. Outside of that, I just appreciate you guys for being here. See you in the next video.